Hello, this is McD the Beast, and this is McD Sports 4 coming to you today with my is this week 4 of college football picks for your 2020 college football season. For our team, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Please subscribe to your channel. Really appreciate you do that. We're trying to go to the channel. We are very close to 300, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button today. I have 20 games for you guys. I have 14 straight up. And 3 locks and 3 upsets. And I do straight up picks and against the spread, and I give you a score for each game. So let's get into it. Basically, for the straight up picks, I am 18 and 15 overall. If you count all my picks, I'm 18 and 15. In the straight up category, though, I forgot I should have done the straight up category separate when I was doing this. This is just my record through the first 3 weeks. I should put down I am 17 and 10 in the straight up category. I'm 14 and 19 against the spread, not good at all. In my defense, I don't like making excuses, but in my defense, this is such a weird year for college football this year that you don't know what you're gonna get out of some of these teams some weeks. So kind of understandable, but not good enough. Obviously, we want to at least be above 500, kind of around that 60% tile rate there is where I want to be at. Locks of the week, 1 and 2. One of my locks last week, I forget which one won, but the other one lost. And then my upsets of the week, both my upset picks lost last week. Oh yeah, Tulane was the lock of the week that lost. I think I did put that game in. I might have not put that game in for the pick, so I have to see. I forget, but my upsets, no upset pick correct. Hopefully we could get at least a win on that upset. And I don't expect to have above 500 record with the upsets, but with the locks, I expect to be basically undefeated. So 1 and 2 is absolutely unacceptable. Hopefully we could go 3-0 in the locks, and hopefully we go 3-0 in the upsets. I'd love to see that. But let's get into it. 14 games. I'm just gonna pick straight up against the spread and give you a point score. And I'm gonna go ahead and give you 3 locks of the week, point spread and score. And also, I'm going to give you 3 upsets, and an upset is considered a 3 point or is considered a 3 point underdog on McD Sports 4, and the lock they could be a half-point favorite. So let's get into it. Let's start off with one of the bigger games of the week. I know this game gets a lot of hype every year. Florida State versus Miami. Miami is a 11-point favorite there at home. Last year, Miami basically got Willie Taggart fired. Florida State's gonna be without their head coach Mike Norvell because he has COVID. Miami looked very impressive against Louisville. I think at the end Miami definitely wins this game. I don't know if I could take the 11 though, honestly. I went back and forth for this one. I think Florida State though looks really bad from what I saw against Georgia Tech, and with no Mike Norvell there, I don't know how they're going to respond. And I was going to go ahead and take Miami minus 11. I want to say Miami wins this game by 2 touchdowns. I'm gonna go 27-13 Miami. I think that was the same score as the last year. It might have been 27-10. I think it was 27-10, but 27-13 Miami. I just don't think Florida State's really that good of a team. Give me Miami minus 11. Next game, Louisville versus Pitt. Pitt is a -3 favorite. They're favored by 3. I'm going to go ahead and take Pitt -3 and say that they cover and win here. I think Pitt is actually kind of underrated. They're kind of flying under the radar. Louisville's not a bad team. That defense, though, pretty bad, that defense. So, I'm going to go ahead and take Pitt -3 here. I'll go ahead and say Pitt wins this one. I think this game might be turning out to be a back and forth affair, though. I'll take Pitt, and though, as I said, I'll go 31-24 Pitt. Give me Pitt by a touchdown. Next game, Alabama versus Missouri. SEC play kicks off this week, so that's why we were able to do the 20 games. Usually I do 10 straight up picks, and then 5 locks of the week and 5 upsets of the week during a normal season, but I'm doing it kind of by ear because some of these games are getting canceled Wednesday, Thursday before the game. So I'm kind of doing it by ear. This year, I think once the Big Ten comes in, the MAC they might be coming back, and the MAC comes back. It's just the Mountain West who's not playing. It looks like, even though I heard they are going to come back in a bubble format in Las Vegas, so that's going to be interesting to watch. But anyways, The SEC, they come back. And once the Big Ten comes back, I think I'll go back to the normal 10-5-5. But Missouri, they are a 27.5 point underdog at home. I do think Alabama is a very good team. They're basically telling the person like me, the person that's betting, take the 27.5. And that's a pretty good number, and I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to say Bama wins this game. I feel like Bama's going to be one of the teams, them, Clemson. I feel like once the Big Ten comes back, Ohio State is a possibility. Um, I feel like those teams are going to be the most ready to play. And I feel like Alabama's going to win this game pretty easily. I know some people aren't completely sold on Mac Jones. It doesn't matter for this game. Missouri has a new head coach, Eli Drinkwitz. You can't really evaluate him off this game, in my opinion. Bama's going to win this game pretty easily. I'll go. I'll go 52. I'll go 52-20. I'll go 32-point win for Bama in this one. 52-20, Bama. Next game, West Virginia versus Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's playing the second best team in the state of West Virginia. And some people are saying the second best team in West Virginia. Some people are saying they're saying that they are the fourth best team in the Big 12, which is very concerning if that's the case. Because trust me, the second best team in West Virginia is not that they are not really that good of a team. The best team in West Virginia, I don't think they play this week. Marshall. They beat the Real Mountaineers last week. That was a excellent pick by me, at least in the spread. I thought that the Appalachian State Mountaineers would so find a way to get through last week, find a way to win that game last week. But gives credit to Marshall. They're just outside the top 25 at number 26, in my opinion. But that's besides the point. Bit of a tangent there. I'm going to say last week, I'm going to give Oklahoma State the benefit of the doubt on this one. They'll win and cover this one, in my opinion, pretty easily. I'm going to say they win this one by about 3 touchdowns. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt here. Give me Oklahoma State in this one. I'll go 45-24 Oklahoma State, the Cowboys, over the second best team in West Virginia. Next game, Florida versus Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a 13.5 point underdog at home. They are telling you guys, they're telling me the better take Florida minus 13.5. 13.5, that is such a tough number. I would stay away from this game if I was giving any betting advice, which, by the way, don't listen to my betting advice. Never listen to someone's betting advice. But, man, I think Florida wins no matter what. I do believe that. Week 1, though, they're going to be fired up about Lane Kiffin. I know the crowd size is going to be a lot smaller than what it was. If these two teams were teeing off with a large size crowd, I know they were supposed to tee off in the middle of the season. I went back and forth for this one with the point spread. Florida wins, definitely. God, I'm gonna buy into Lane Kiffin. I'm gonna take Ole Miss plus 13.5. I'm not gonna bite on it. I mean, they want you to take that 13.5. The betters. I'm not gonna book the people. They want you to take that 13.5. I'm gonna go ahead and take Florida in this one. I think Florida wins this game in kind of a shootout. I'll go 41. I'll go 41-30 Florida. They win by 11. It was originally Florida minus 11. I would have took Florida minus 11, but 13.5 a bit too much for me. Give me Florida, though, still win this game 41-30. Next 5 games here. Georgia Southern versus Louisiana. A little Sun Belt action here. A triple option team and Georgia Southern versus Louisiana. To me, the best team in the Sun Belt. Louisiana's getting 11.5 points at home. They're favored by 11.5 points. I'm going to take Louisiana to win this game. I am going to say they don't cover, though, because I think Georgia Southern could eat up enough clock and keep this game kind of close. I'm going to go ahead and take Louisiana, though, by 10. I'm going to say 20-10 Louisiana in this one. Kind of low scoring, but go ahead and give me the Raging Cajuns, the best team in the Sun Belt. Next game, Kansas State versus Oklahoma. This is your big noon kickoff game. Last week, the big noon kickoff game got canceled on Thursday because Baylor has some positive tests. More on them in a second. And Houston, they got their third game of the season canceled, and this week they have their fourth game of the season canceled because it seems like anybody that plays Houston, all of a sudden they have COVID. So it sucks to be a Houston Cougar fan, but Oklahoma 28-point favorite at home. I was very disappointed in Kansas State when they played Arkansas State. Oklahoma, a lot of people are saying Oklahoma looks a lot better. Now, granted, it was against Missouri State. Take that how you want it. I know that they actually have a real head coach there at Missouri State, Bobby Petrino. Say what you want about him, but I think Oklahoma does win and cover here because I just think Kansas State. I just think they're pretty bad, honestly, from what I saw. Because Arkansas State gave them every opportunity to win that game a few weeks ago. I'm gonna go ahead and take Oklahoma though to win and cover. Give me Boomer Sooner. And by the way, this is a revenge game for Oklahoma since Kansas State beat them last year. So definitely give me Oklahoma win and cover here. Boomer Sooner in this one. Let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and say Boomer Sooner. They win this one. I'll go 51. I'll go 51-17 Boomer Sooner over the Wildcats. Next game, Texas Tech. Texas Tech is an 18.5-point underdog at home. This game is 3:30 on Fox. Texas, everybody's saying Oklahoma and Texas. Those are the two big teams in the Big 12 against everybody else. Texas Tech, they barely survived Houston Baptist. I'm gonna say they're better than that. Now, granted, they could very well go into this one and lose by damn near 5 touchdowns. I'm taking Texas to win, obviously. Texas Tech is kind of a tough place to play, though. They're in Lubbock. It is kind of tough to play there. And put on a good show usually means full crowds. And I'm actually going to go ahead and say Texas does win cover, however, because I cannot trust a team to cover a spread that could barely beat Houston Baptist. I'll take Texas in this one. I'll say they win this game. I'll say they win by 24. I'll go 45-21 Texas in this one. Probably a bit competitive in the first half, but go ahead. Give me Texas. They pull away in the second half. Next game, Army Cincinnati, a top 25 matchup right here. Cincinnati is a 13.5-point favorite. I do think Cincinnati does win this game at the end, but definitely give me Army to cover that plus 13.5. There is no way Cincinnati's covering that spread, in my opinion. I'll take the Cincinnati Bearcats to win this game, however. Low scoring affair. I'll go 23-17 Cincinnati. They win this game by 6. So go ahead and give me the Bearcats. Army's a pretty good team. I think this is the team we expected to see last year for Army. The team that was able to run the ball all over everybody. Granted, they haven't really faced a good team like Cincinnati yet, but I think they're going to have some success against Cincinnati, but they'll come up a bit short because I think Cincinnati is a bit better than them. 23-17 Cincinnati. Don't cover that 13.5-point spread. Next game, NC State versus Virginia Tech. Two coaches I'm not really high on in this matchup. Dave Doran, give him credit. He went ahead and beat Wake Forest last week. Give him credit for that, but I still think he's a bit on the hot seat, even though I think this year is kind of just a rain check year for all these teams. Virginia Tech, I am not hiring your head coach, Justin Fournette. I made that very clear on here on McD Sports 4. I am not hiring that head coach. Virginia Tech, they're getting 7 points at home. I don't think they could have fans at that stadium. Man. Virginia Tech, I think, wins this game at the end. That 7 points is kind of tough for me, though. If it was 6.5, I would take it. I'm going to plunge with Virginia Tech. I'm going to say they win this game. Probably a bit of a weird game. I'll go 28-20 Virginia Tech. They win by 8 in this one. I'm kind of not really confident in that, though. But for the purposes of this video, Virginia Tech 28-20. They cover the spread. I will stay away from this one if I was you. And then 4 more games left here. We do have the Tulane game. I didn't know if I had that game or not in here. Tulane versus Southern Miss. Southern Miss is a 3.5-point underdog at home. I am taking Tulane to win this game and cover, though, however, because I saw enough from Tulane in that first half against Navy. Granted, they blew the lead, but I saw enough from them to know that they are a decent football team in the American. I think this is a rivalry game, if I'm not mistaken. But Tulane, they'll get the win here. I'll take the Green Wave in this one. I'll go ahead and take them. Let's go 30-27 not 30-27 because I mean Southern Miss covers. Let's go 30. I'll go 31-27 Tulane. I think they barely cover, but I'll take the 3.5 for Tulane. 31-27 Tulane. Next game, UCF versus East Carolina. East Carolina is a 27.5 point underdog at home. UCF, I think, is one of the top two teams in the American. They will win this game. I do think East Carolina, I like what I saw from the second half of them last year. I thought they played some teams very close. Um, and I do think they have a shot to maybe cover this spread, especially if UCF comes out kind of slow. But I'm going to go ahead and say UCF covers this. It is kind of tempting. It is kind of tempting to go ahead and take East Carolina plus 27.5. But I'm going to go ahead and take UCF. I like that number 27.5. I'm going to say UCF wins by 4 touchdowns. I'll go ahead and say they win this game. I'll go 42-14 UCF. Take them by 4 touchdowns. Next game, UAB versus South Alabama. This game is tonight, actually. Usually do these videos on Wednesday, but I've been pretty much swamped with schoolwork. I'm in my last semester at community college. I think these professors, as I said, I think in one of the previous videos, I think they think like, oh, we're staying on our asses during quarantine, so let's just give them more work. So I know some of the classwork is that's done in class is usually done in the classroom, or the lecture is being done at home, so that's kind of taking a lot of time as well. But that's why this video isn't coming out till today, because I've just been busy with that. The good news is that I don't really have much to do today or tomorrow, so that's good. But South Alabama +7 at home. I think UAB, I mean, I don't know really what to think about them. They lost to Miami. Miami is a pretty good team in my opinion, but then they went to a FCS team. I think it was Central Arkansas, and they only beat them by 10 if I'm not mistaken. South Alabama, they won a game against Southern Miss in pretty convincing fashion, but then they turned around and lost, I believe, to UL Monroe if I'm not mistaken. One of the Sun Belt teams, I forget, but I'm going to take UAB in this one to win. But I'm going to take South Alabama +7, but I think UAB still wins. I'll take UAB in this one 27-21. I just think they're a bit better than South Alabama. Go ahead and give me the Dragons versus the Jaguars. And then the last game in the straight up category, Duke and Virginia. Virginia is a 5.5 point favorite at home. Duke they look pretty disappointing against Boston College last week. I thought they played Notre Dame tough though. I would never count out Cutcliffe. But I'm going to take Virginia to win and cover here. I think Virginia, from what I've seen, and I don't think they played a game yet, but I think they are the better team. I'll take the Virginia Cavaliers in this one. I'll say they win by a touchdown. I'll go 24-17 Virginia, kind of low scoring against Duke. Now, here are my three locks of the week here. FIU versus Liberty. Liberty is a 7.5 point favorite at home. They will win this game, and they will win by more than 7.5 points. I'll take Liberty in this one to win this game pretty convincingly. They'll break in a new quarterback at FIU. I'll take Liberty in this one. Let's go. Let's go. I'll go 38. I'll go 38-21 Liberty. I'll say they win by 17. Go ahead and give me the Flames versus the Golden Panthers. Next game in the locks of the week, Troy versus BYU. BYU, they only played against Navy. They blew them out. Might be a bit of an aberration because Navy did practice no tackle football. Troy is not a bad team per se, but with the game in BYU, I am going to take BYU to win and cover that 14-point spread. They should beat Troy kind of easily. It's probably going to be competitive in the first half, make me nervous about this pick, but I think they come through. I'll take BYU to win this game. I'll go ahead and say they win this game 33-17, take them by 16. And then the last game, Kansas versus Baylor. Haven't really gotten a shot to see Baylor play this year. They had a game against Houston that got canceled, but it looks like they got over COVID, which is good. They are a 17.5 point favorite at home. I am taking Baylor to win and cover here. Kansas is just terrible. I mean, Coastal Carolina ran them out their own building, for God's sakes. That's how bad it was. Go ahead, give me Baylor in this one. I'll go ahead and take them. I'll take the Bears The score of this game will be, I'll go 48 because they still have that quarterback Brewer. Actually, I'll go 45, not 48. I'll go 45. I'll go 45-20 Baylor. I'll take them by 25 in this one. Go ahead and give me the Baylor Bears over the Kansas Jayhawks, 45-20. And then my three upsets of the week, as I remind you again, all they have to do is be a 3-point underdog. And I'm going to take three upsets here. Georgia State versus Charlotte here. Give me Charlotte +3. I'll just take this upset because I think Charlotte is actually not that bad of a football team. Neither is Georgia State. But with the game being in Charlotte, I'll go ahead and take Charlotte +3. I'll say to go ahead and win this game as well, obviously, because all three of these upsets I think will win. Go ahead and give me Charlotte in this one. I'll go Charlotte in this one. Let's go 30-27 Charlotte. I'll take Charlotte by a field goal in this one. I think this is a 50-50 game, but with Charlotte being the home team, I know they're a 3-point underdog. Give me Charlotte. Georgia Tech versus Syracuse. I'm going to say Syracuse gets the win here. They're +8 underdog. They're 8-point underdogs at home. Georgia Tech, kind of a favorite, I think, because of the FSU win. Georgia Tech's not a good team. I know some people are higher on that quarterback, but I mean, he still has a lot of development to do. Syracuse has a good defense. They'll shut down Georgia Tech's offense, and I think they'll win this game. Go ahead and give me the orange in this one. I'll take them to win a low-scoring game. I'll go 16-14 Syracuse. They win by 2, and I'll take Syracuse +8, obviously. And then the last game, this is my game of the week, actually, right here, Tennessee, South Carolina. I think this is your biggest game this week. I know some people are saying Miami, FSU, but I think FSU is not very that good of a team. Whoever wins this game, in my opinion, will have a pretty good season. Whoever loses this game is not going to really have that good of a season. And I think South Carolina's going to win this game. I think Muschamp needs to win this game. That's point number one. They're 3.5-point favorites at home. I mean, 3.5-point underdogs at home. I know Tennessee ran them out the building in the second half last year in Knoxville, but that was the only time Muschamp has ever lost to Tennessee, even back as days in Florida. South Carolina, I mean, they have a new quarterback. They're bringing in the Colorado State transfer, new offense under Mike Bobo. And he came from Colorado State. So, I mean, hopefully the quarterback should know that offense, which is a good thing. And I just feel like I don't know how many fans are gonna have in there, but if you've been noticing some things, the fans have really had a difference. Even if it's just 6,000 since in Cleveland, it's been a difference. So and I think every SEC school is allowed to have some capacity of fans. So um, obviously we'll see what happens, but go ahead, give me Tennessee. Go ahead and give me South Carolina in this one. I'll take them to win this game. I'll go South Carolina. Um, I'll say they win this game 26-23, kind of a weird game. They'll win by a field goal. And I just realized I forgot to put this game on here, but we gotta pick Auburn, Kentucky in this one. Auburn is a 7.5-point favorite on the road. They will win this game, and I'll add this to the games of the week as well. Not to the games of the week. I'll add this to just a straight up category. Um, they are a 7.5-point favorite at Kentucky. Auburn will beat Kentucky. I'll take them by 2 touchdowns. I'll go 24-10 Auburn in that one. I think it's gonna be kind of low scoring, but I forgot to put that game on here. So that game should have definitely been on here. Uh Auburn, Kentucky. Sorry about that. But those are my picks. 21 games. It was 20. I added a game because I absolutely forgot to add that game. Just realized that. So 21 games. Comment down below. Tell me your games, that your picks for these games. I always like hearing from you all. Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up button. Please subscribe to your channel. Really appreciate if you do that. A video I had planned for today, that's gonna get pushed back to tomorrow because obviously we're doing this one today. But thanks for watching. McD the Beast signing off. Go Terps.